one of them that concerns me is whether or not this actually could increase college costs over the long term. The whole point is, student debt is too high because college costs are too high. So this is treating a symptom potentially without the underlying cause. Just wanted to get your take on that. And the other one is whether this kind of sets up a rolling series of debt reductions, like other things that are in the federal government that are happening. You assume that they're going to happen again, but they're not in any sort of baseline. Do people, people who have the loans now or are about to take out loans will benefit from this, but, people that are in the pipeline, so to speak, in high school, I mean, they're not going to get $10,000 chopped off their loans, or will they? I mean, will there just be growing pressure to automatically cut loan costs in the future?
So I think I can answer both of those questions together, which is when President Biden rolled this out, we talk about it as student debt cancellation as if it's one action, but really I think there are three components to it. There is the $10,000 cancellation for everybody, or all student debt for people under $125,000. There is the additional $10,000 for undergraduate debt for people who had Pell Grants. And then there are these changes to income-driven repayment moving forward. And I think that even though the highest cost, at least in the near term, is going to be from the first two, I think the third one is probably the most transformational because it sets up in the future students to pay back a significantly lower portion of their loans than the previous generation did. And so I think I think on the one hand, like, that's good. When we opposed broad student debt cancellation, we said that changes to the income-driven repayment program would actually be a much better way to do student debt relief. And I still 100% believe that. But this was a particularly aggressive version of it, to the point where the share of debt that's going to be forgiven going forward is, I think, going to end up being higher than most people expect right now. And so that, on the one hand, means the future presidents won't have to do rolling debt cancellation because it's going to be canceled automatically. On the other hand, so the outstanding balance is going to be lower. But on the other hand, it creates a much easier flow of money to colleges. It makes it so that future students don't have to be as worried about the cost of college if the federal government is just going to take on the bill, and if it doesn't work out, they can count on it being canceled. And knowing this, universities are going to be able to raise prices further. So I think that it's probably going to make the college tuition problem worse rather than better, and it does create a longer term loan cancellation than I think it seems based on just focusing on the immediate blanket cancellation.